Hi, I'm Chris Wilcox, a software engineer on the Python tools team. And in this video, we're going to explore cross-platform debugging using Python tools for Visual Studio. We'll enable remote debugging using PTVSD, configure the remote machine, and debug Python running on Linux. We have an existing application we're going to use. It's a fairly simple application that I like to call cross-platform debugging. It's really a simple guessing game. You provide your name, it provides a random number between 1 and 20, and you get 6 chances to guess correctly. Along the way, it will hint at you whether you're low or high. If you're successful, it will give you a delightful message. And if you're unsuccessful, it will tell you something a bit more disappointing. Our code is complete, but we want to support future debugging. So we're going to want to add our debugging module. I already have these lines commented out at the top of the file, and so by uncommenting them, it's now in. All these lines do is import a PTVSD module that we provide on the Python package index, and enable attaching to it using a secret key that we specify as xplat_demo. There are other parameters to enable attach, such as specifying the port we're going to use, which for this demo we're using the default of 5678, as well as settings that would allow you to use things such as OpenSSL to secure your transport. While not entirely necessary, you may wish to get PTVSD onto your Windows machine so that way you have IntelliSense support from Visual Studio. We can go to the Python environments window, go to pip, and from here we can run PTVSD, and you can see it's prompting already for us to install PTVSD. You can also see that I already have PTVSD installed on this machine, so this is unnecessary. So, we now have this set up on Windows. But how do we get it over to our Linux machine? Well, from here we can go over to PuTTY, and we can open the file in Vim. Because this is a single file project, we don't have to do anything more complicated than just paste it into Vim. We also need to take a moment to install the PTVSD dependency. Like most Python packages, we can install it through pip by running sudo pip3 install PTVSD. I'm not going to run this here, as I've already installed it myself. After we've done that, we can run python3 demo.py. This will run our application over on the Linux VM. It prompts me for my name, and now it asks me to guess. I'm going to guess 10, because I think that's a completely reasonable starting point. Lo and behold, it tells me my guess is too low. I've personally had enough of this guessing. We have this magical thing called a debugger that's about to help me make much better guesses. I'm going to put a breakpoint on line 11, so that way after we've made our guess, it stops. I'm going to attach to the process using Python remote debugging transport, as well as entering in the qualifying area our secret, which we specified as xplat_demo, and the host name, in this case, pythondemo.cloudapp.net. If we refresh, we'll see in the available processes, there's a Python 3 process running on a 64-bit Linux machine. We can now click Attach, go back over to our Linux machine, and make another guess. So my guess was too low. For a second guess, let's do 15. And we're now broken into our code running over on Linux from Python tools for Visual Studio. You can see in the autos window that we have 2 variables that it thinks are interesting to us. Our guess of 15 and the fact that we've made 1 guess. I can step ahead using the Python debug interactive window, my preferred way of exploring a debug process, and now see that guesses made has been evaluated. We can also look for additional things such as my name, and most interestingly in our case, the number. The number was 13. I wasn't getting there anytime soon. And now we know. So from here, we really have 2 steps we can take. We can either go back, continue out of this process, go to Linux, enter in 13, and look like we knew what we were doing. But I can tell from these print messages that it's going to tell me how many guesses I took. And that's going to say that I took 3 guesses to get to a number between 1 and 20. I'm not happy with that. Thanks to the debugger, though, we can fix that. I'm going to go ahead and set number equal to the guess I made. So now we can see if we evaluate that number is now 15, just like guess was. So that's solved. But again, for that whole problem that it's going to think I took too many guesses. Since we're in here, let's have a bit of fun at the computer's expense. I think it'd be great if I somehow came to the conclusion that the number it picked all along was 15 with -1 guesses. So now that we've set that up, I can go ahead and continue the process and be told that I'm amazing at guessing numbers. It says, "Good job, Chris. You guessed my number in -1 guesses." With remote debugging using PTVSD, we can quickly debug a variety of remote applications, all while having the power of Python tools for Visual Studio. Thanks for watching this video. You can get PTVS or watch the other videos in this series from the links below.